Hi, this is Shirley Pando. We're going to make some really cute necklace mini books. There's a little cording on it, and each one can open up, and inside is a cute little accordion book that you can put all your tiny little photos. I've added little photos of myself, my friends, 3 of which are my sisters, and this is from 1967. I was 7 years old in the 1st grade, and I just love those pin curls. I'm sure I hated them when my mom was making them the night before and you had to sleep in the bobby pins, but looking back on it now, it's so classic. It's so cute. So this is what we're making today. There are 2 pieces of chipboard for the front and the back. It's a great time to use all your scraps. I used cardstock as the little book pages. And then we're just going to pull out all our tiny little letter number stickers. This is a Jolie Boutique. Anything that's tiny. Anything that's tiny that's going to fit into something like that. So let's get started. The supplies we're going to use is a piece of cardstock as our book pages. We've got some chipboard. My chipboard is 1.5 by 2.5 inches. This came as a pre-cut piece from Basil, and I know it's years old, but cereal boxes or any kind of chipboard, it doesn't even have to be a snack box, anything like that. Mine's pretty thick. If you do want it thicker, you can stack 2 or 3 on top of each other if you've got something that's fairly thin, if you'd like something a little bit thicker. But these are quite thick. Then a little piece of decorative paper for the outer covers, front and back, and any type of ribbon for the closure. I've got different colors and widths of cording. I just purchased that at Joann's, any type of fabric store. For the necklace portion, for the cording, I've got different types and widths, and you can use anything like that. Even a thin shoelace would work. This is about the width of a thin shoelace. You can use any color. If you have baker's twine, I was even thinking getting a couple strands of baker's twine and braiding it together and using that as your as the necklace portion. So there's lots of different options. If you have any type of hemp cording or twine, some thin twine would work, anything like that. And then for the bottom, this again, beads, if you'd like beads. I just like the fact of some beads hanging. I've had various types of beads. These are some of those very large types of kids craft beads. I've got lots of sets of those, but any smaller type of bead or anything that you could lace through that would be great. And then any type of embellishment, and we'll go through that once we embellish our books. Now, because my book covers, you can of course do these any size, but my book cover, the height of it is 2.5 inches. So I'm going to cut my cardstock to just shy of that. These pages are about 1/16 of an inch shorter than that. And I'm just going to show that to you so you can see. It's just just a hair smaller than the height of your the cover, the front and back cover. And then our width, this is 12 inches. So 12 inches by 2.5, and then shave off just a bit. Our next step is to score our piece of cardstock every 1.5 inches. I happen to have a scoring tool, which is a great tool to use. But if you don't have something like that, you can use a ruler and either a bone folder or maybe the edge of a ruler to score a line. Actually, If you have an old credit card or an old hotel key, that will work just as well to score your cardstock. Then of course we're just going to accordion fold our piece, and if you will make good folds, so crease that fold really well for each of those folds. Our next step is to cover our chipboard pieces, and I have gotten my paper and just cut it to about 1/2 inch larger than my chipboard piece on each side. And I usually like to use tacky glue, so I just pour it out on my nonstick craft sheet and spread it on with a paintbrush. And when we go to cover the pieces, if you'll take each corner, this will be the inside. If you'll put each corner in first at a 90-degree angle, like that, and then we'll glue each piece so like that. That will help it give good coverage that way. And then we can fold up our top and bottom piece and then our sides. And we'll do that for both pieces. And it doesn't matter if all of the cardboard is covered or not, because we're going to use our little accordion sheet and that'll cover up what's left over. So that's why we only need a little bit of an edge on the sides, just so that the sides cover up. And I do find that the thinner papers work better. They seem to give a better, crisper fold than the cardstock weight papers. So I originally had a heavier paper and switched over to a thinner paper. It just seems to work better with something this small and all these folds that you really want a nice crisp fold. It just seems to work best.